Iryna Lomachynska. Each story has to start somewhere. Mine started at 3 a.m. in Budapest. That was 3 weeks ago, and that was the end of my trip, and I was returning home. As my plane was going to take off at 7 in the morning, I had to be at the airport at 5. So I could not use the day public transportation, I had to use the night bus. So that was the night, the cold, empty Budapest streets, and I was handing my bag and was going to the bus station. As I mentioned, each story has to start somewhere. And the story of my best friend Kate started one winter morning when she, an 18-year-old girl wearing a beautiful white dress, was preparing to make the most important decision in her life. So I was going to the bus station. When I saw it, it wasn't very crowded, there were some people, and as far as I understood, some of them were also going my direction, because there were people with bags and also with a map. By the way, I also had my map with me. That was a tiny piece of paper where I had written where I need to go and which bus to take. The bus came, we all entered, and the ride started. We were going through the night Budapest streets, and then the landscape changed, and we were outside of the city. We were going, and the thought crossed my mind, how safe it is to have someone going the same direction with you, even though you don't know them. So we all was going in this bus. Talking about my friend Kate, her journey through the family life also started. She had a couple of nice months with her husband, and she really felt safe. She felt as behind a stone wall. And their family grew. In a few months, a beautiful baby, Alex, appeared in their lives. So I was going in this bus, and from time to time I was checking the time, and I was shaking my kind of map to make sure that I'm going to the right place. People were coming and leaving from the bus, and at some point, all the people who I thought were going to the airport left, door closed, and the bus moved further. Why would they leave, I thought? Why would I go further? Why it is already the time, but we are still not in the right station? With this thought, I mentioned something particularly interesting. The station that I had on my map was the same station where this bus was going to terminate. And I thought, probably I have written the direction where to go, not the station where I had to leave the bus. I decided to use my communication skills and to ask a person behind me, do you speak English? He didn't. Okay, I thought, airport. And then he started to use various gestures showing me the road that we were passing by. Then he pressed the button that was opening the door of the bus stopped, and he told me, go. I was very surprised. I took the bag, stepped outside, the door closed, bus left. And here I was, in the middle of Hungarian nowhere. I didn't know what to do. There was 4 o'clock in the morning, that was dark, and I was staying there completely alone. Well, the person can feel alone not only when there are no people around. And talking about my friend Kate, she felt alone in some time, because her family life was lost one day when her husband came to her and told her, you know, I need to think about my feelings for some time and about my purpose in life. And he left. And he stayed alone with her son, because there was no one except her to take care of him. But you need to come through all the obstacles. So my obstacle in Budapest was to somehow get to the airport. I decided to follow the road that the guy showed me. I came there, and then, surprisingly, I saw a woman, a girl, with the flowers, at 4 a.m. I asked her how to go to the airport, and she told me, well, this is the right road. But there is the problem, the buses are not going here, the night buses. So you will need to walk this way. He pointed to the road that I could not even see the end of it, because it was so dark, that was the suburban area of the Budapest. And she mentioned, then you will need to cross right, and then there will be the railways. You will need to cross the railways. And then there will be a bridge. You need to go under the bridge. And then there will be a bus station. And if you go there by 20 minutes, you will be able to catch the bus and to be at the airport on time. Okay, I thought. During the next 20 minutes, I was hanging my bag in this suburban area of the Budapest, accompanied by the barking dogs. Thankfully, they were all behind the gates. And I was dreaming only about one thing, to saw some man there, some human there. Then I saw these railways station. In 7 minutes, the bus came. And in other 20 minutes, I was able to stay in the airport. I rushed to the registration desk with my ticket, showed it to them, and the assistant looked into my ticket and told, ma'am, you came way too early, because your plane takes off not at 7, but at 7:30. And actually, it was written on my ticket. I was just not attentive enough to see it. And I thought, what? Why did I need to hurry? I could have had a better option. Because I could use the regular public transportation, the metro, not the night buses with all these obstacles. Irrespective to whether you are talking about going to the airport, or whether I'm talking about making the most important decision in life. To both these cases, it is applicable that people who are going the same way with you do not always have the same directions. And early decisions are not only better decisions. And why to hurry up?